At the core of One Day at a Time, and especially luminous in this episode, Barbara +2 stands Anne Romano, the resilient single mother whose wisdom, tough love and gentle guidance form the moral and emotional backbone of the entire story. Part 6 of our review celebrates this remarkable character portrayed with such authenticity and depth that she became one of the most groundbreaking maternal figures in 1970s television. Through her interactions with her daughters, her handling of the romantic crisis and her own quiet moments of reflection, Anne embodies the challenges and strengths of single motherhood in a rapidly changing America, offering viewers a model of parenting that is neither idealized nor overly sentimental but profoundly human. Anne's wisdom is evident from the opening scenes where she patiently engages with the nervous Bob Morton. Rather than dismissing the shy boy or rushing him out, she listens attentively, offers encouragement about self-confidence, and gently nudges him toward courage. Her line reminding him that a little bit of self-confidence could only help carries the weight of lived experience. As a divorced working mother raising two teenage girls in the 1970s, Anne understands the importance of building inner strength in young people. She knows that life will demand resilience, and she plants these seeds with kindness and realism. This early interaction sets the tone for her parenting style, supportive yet honest, warm yet firm. As Barbara's dilemma deepens, Anne's guidance becomes more direct and layered. When Barbara confesses her dual commitments, Anne refuses to provide easy outs or magical solutions. Instead, she insists on fairness and honesty. She reminds her daughter that she accepted Bob first, and that building false hopes would only lead to greater pain later. The script captures these mother-daughter conversations with exquisite naturalism. Anne speaks of hypocrisy, the very thing the younger generation criticizes in adults, and challenges Barbara to live up to her own stated values of honesty. These moments are masterfully written, revealing Anne's deep understanding of adolescent psychology, while acknowledging her own vulnerabilities as a parent. One of the episode's most powerful sequences involves Anne's response to Barbara's feigned illness. Recognizing the symptoms as guilt-induced rather than physical, Anne delivers a compassionate but unflinching diagnosis. She understands that her daughter's cold feet and hot hands stem from being trapped by her own kindness. With Schneider's comic interjections providing counterpoint, Anne maintains her role as the steady voice of reason. She refuses to let Barbara avoid the consequences of her choices, gently but firmly pushing her to answer the door and face both boys. This tough love is never cruel. It is rooted in Anne's belief that shielding children from discomfort ultimately does them a disservice. In the context of 1970s single motherhood, where mothers often faced societal judgment for both working outside the home and raising children alone, Anne's approach represents a progressive yet grounded philosophy of parenting. The episode beautifully illustrates the balancing act Anne performs daily. We see her returning home from promoting the Equal Rights Amendment only to step immediately into managing household crises, zippers, hemlines, temperatures, and teenage heartbreak. Her exhaustion is palpable when she complains about her splitting headache and lack of personal time, yet she never wavers in her commitment to her daughters. This portrayal was revolutionary for its time. Television had long featured single mothers, but rarely with such nuance. Anne is not a superwoman, nor a victim. She is a working woman striving for equality while nurturing her family, making mistakes and learning alongside her children. Her guidance extends beyond immediate crises into broader life lessons. When Barbara imagines absurd future scenarios, going steady marriage and naming a baby after Cliff, Anne listens patiently before steering the conversation back to practical honesty. She understands the teenage tendency toward dramatic exaggeration and meets it with calm perspective. The script uses these exchanges to explore generational differences in attitudes toward relationships. Anne, shaped by her own failed marriage, wants her daughters to approach romance with greater self-awareness than she once had. Her gentle insistence that Barbara tell Bob the truth reflects a belief in personal responsibility and emotional integrity. Anne's wisdom shines particularly brightly in how she handles the resolution. When both romantic entanglements reach their conclusion, she supports Barbara's decision to take her mother out to dinner instead of attending the dance with either boy. This moment is quietly profound. It shows Anne's acceptance that sometimes the best choice is stepping back from romantic pressure altogether. By agreeing to the mother-daughter date, she affirms the importance of family bonds and self-reflection. The tender exchange, where Barbara expresses concern about leaving her mother alone and Anne reassures her with humor about enjoying peace and quiet, reveals the deep mutual affection and understanding between them. Beyond her interactions with Barbara, Anne's character is further enriched by her friendship with Schneider and her tentative exploration of the singles bar scene. Though reluctant at first, she allows herself to be pulled into this new social world, reflecting the realities many divorced women faced in the 1970s. Her observations at the bar, polite, but reserved, gracious, yet discerning, demonstrate her maturity and self-awareness. She is not desperate for male attention but open to connection on her own terms. This subplot parallels Barbara's experiences, suggesting that the challenges of honesty, attraction, and self-worth persist across generations. The writing for Anne Romano is consistently excellent, filled with warmth, intelligence, and quiet strength. Her dialogue flows naturally, whether offering motherly advice or engaging in light banter with Schneider. The performer's implied timing in these scenes allows Anne's subtle humor and emotional depth to shine through. She can deliver a pointed observation about hypocrisy one moment and a loving reassurance the next, making her feel like a real person rather than a mouthpiece for moral lessons. Historically, Anne Romano represented a new kind of television mother for the 1970s. With rising divorce rates and the women's movement gaining momentum, audiences craved stories that reflected their lived realities. Anne embodied the struggles of balancing career ambitions, personal fulfillment, and responsible parenting. Her advocacy for the Equal Rights Amendment, her professional life, and her dedication to her daughters painted a portrait of a woman fully engaged with her time. Yet the episode never reduces her to a symbol. She remains a fully dimensional character with headaches, frustrations, and moments of self-doubt. Through Anne's guidance, the episode explores timeless themes of integrity, compassion, and personal growth. She teaches Barbara, and by extension, the audience, that kindness must be tempered with honesty, that discomfort can lead to valuable lessons, and that family provides both support and necessary challenges. Her tough love is always delivered with underlying gentleness, reflecting a mother who respects her daughter's autonomy while refusing to abandon her responsibility to guide her. Anne's presence elevates every scene she appears in. Whether mediating Bob's nervousness, navigating the dinner disaster, diagnosing Barbara's guilt, or supporting her through the emotional aftermath, she remains the steady center around which the chaos revolves. Her wisdom does not come from perfection but from experience, reflection, and a deep love for her children. In celebrating Anne Romano, we recognize one of the finest portrayals of single motherhood in classic American television. She is strong without being invulnerable, wise without being preachy, and loving without being smothering. The episode uses her character to affirm that single mothers are not defined by absence or struggle alone but by their capacity for resilience, humor, and profound guidance. As the story moves toward resolution, Anne's gentle influence continues to resonate. She has helped her daughter navigate a painful but necessary lesson in honesty and self-awareness. In doing so, she reinforces the show's central message that families, even non-traditional ones, can thrive through open communication, mutual respect, and the courage to face difficult truths. Anne Romano remains a beacon of 1970s television, warm, relatable, and eternally inspiring. Her wisdom illuminates not only this episode but the entire series, reminding generations of viewers that thoughtful parenting rooted in both love and honesty remains one of life's most important and rewarding challenges.